Hi, my name is Elizabeth McGargy, and this is my linguistics survey. My main focus was how I wanted to know how college students versus non-college students use certain language slang, which is like in different environments. I just wanted to see if there was a major difference between the two when going to college or not. So I asked some of my friends I knew and people that I knew that went to college or are in college or not in college. I had them fill out the form through Google Forms, and it was anonymous for the best responses. The survey consisted of multiple choice, short answer, just to gather quantitative and qualitative data. I asked multiple people, but I got 10 people to do it. And I asked 9 questions. So I asked, do you go to college? 80% said yes, 20% said no. What type of school? There was 4-year, there was community, there was graduate. Some people did cosmetology, and one was a graduating high school senior. And the age ranges were 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. And that's who I was usually going for. I was going for 18 through 23. So that's pretty much my ideal numbers. In which environments do you use the slang the most? I usually, most 90 said with friends and 10% said online. Most of them didn't feel comfortable using it in formal environments versus like informal environments. 50% said often when it comes to phrases in everyday conversations, and the other 50s always. Usually the categories were used by abbreviations, regional slang, internet slang, and pop culture. It went 60%, 70%, 7%, and then also 50% for the internet slang. 90% you said that I would use more slang with friends than family, and then 10% said they use slang with everybody. And the last question I asked was, do college students use more slang than non-college students? Majority, 70% said no, and 30% said yes. So a quick overview. Quantitative is that can be measured or counted information. In my survey, I think like, what is your age? Do you go to college? How often do you use slang? Or like responses that you could put into numerical values and make it statistical. And then qualitative data of my explanation, which is non-numerical, and it gives more detailed information. In my survey, I feel like I collected questions like, in which environments do you use the most, and like, how does it change using like who you're speaking it about or to, these kinds of questions. Instead of just counting it all, it helps us understand like the reasons behind it. And in conclusion, the data collected from my survey suggests that slang usage varies depending on the age and the education level, also within the social context. Most of the participants that did my survey felt more comfortable using it around their friends and online, and not in a formal setting, whether they are in college or not. However, the data did show that college students may not necessarily use it more than non-college students, which also can challenge some assumptions. One limitation of the survey was it wasn't really a good balance, so for the next time I'll make sure I have a better balance. But overall, with the information I have, I feel like it gave me enough to know and understand. And thank you.